2025 felt like a loop. Not chaos, not failure, just repetition. Same habits, same pressure, different days, different months, and the same expectations. Through the year, I kept circling, convinced that the next lap would be different. Eventually, I realized I wasn't stuck after all. And the problem wasn't the road I was on. It was refusing to take the exit.
Almost a flawless start. I remember to record, plug in my audio, record on this as well, second camera, and my chin strap. One bag short. No big deal. Limping into 2026. Flawless. Well, here we are, perfect, a red light, symbolizing the end of a year, end of 2025. Welcome back. Welcome to the channel. Love to have you here, love to have you back. Still red. And today's video is more of a reflection of the year on the channel, year on YouTube, year in my life, so to speak, because this is a essentially an autobiography of my thoughts, some opinions, some life events that I have. And although this channel is just under a dozen videos for the library, I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now. And I will combine where I came from over the year 2025 to where I am at the end of the year. A little bit of a reflection. So in this episode, I guess episode 11, it's actually New Year's Eve. I'm headed to my dad's. I'm going a different way, so I looked up a little bit how to get there. If I had a drone shot in the beginning, then that was a success. I got there maybe a little early, because that was my plan. I told my dad I'd meet him at his house about noon. Well, I said noon, he said noon. I said, all right, 12:07 it is, because I'm notorious for some reason, outside of work, I'm notorious for being late. But yeah, so we're heading to my dad's right now. We're going the back way. Much more enjoyable and a lot more warmer, I guess, on this late December. Let's see if we can get to 38 real quick. That's probably about right. All right, let's go. Speed calibration. That's all I'm doing. I don't care about number 38. Doesn't matter. Come on, tell me. Oh no. 37, close enough. It's 35 degrees Fahrenheit for those that live in the United States. I'll throw a little graphic of what it is Celsius. We may or may not be doing it right according to the rest of the world, but I'll tell you one thing. We got away for the redcoats and we're not looking back. All right, moving on. A little history joke. That was such a dad joke. Speaking of dad jokes, I may or may not have been in a fight with my dog on the way out. Always wrestling that dog, and I might be wearing some of her fur, and I'm okay with it. A white dog, black sweatshirt. Let's go. So thinking about, what an intro, right? Thinking about a reflection of where I've been, how far I've come, we've come, really. Because I guess the elephant in the room is, hey, you only have 11 videos. But I'm actually, for the year, long form videos, I'm actually probably close to 60, and it doesn't count lives and like the long lives that I had, the shorter lives that I had. So there's quite a bit of time that was involved with me and YouTube. And one thing I absolutely love YouTube. I love making videos. I love making riding the motorcycle and making videos is like, I always say, like stacking hobbies. So I love the aspect of, or the concept, excuse me, rather, the concept of being able to enjoy multiple things at the same time. And I guess that's the world we live in, right? Clickbait, attention editing and all that, the short dopamine hits and stuff. Well, it's not short for me. It's more of a, you know, hey, I'm going to take this ride. It's about 30 minutes to my dad's. The back way is going to take me about 45, a little bit more than that. But enjoying the ride and having a more pleasant ride, not just warmer, but, you know, involving with traffic and just going at my own pace, not worried about being pushed or whatever. And I mean, not that it bothers me, because a lot of times you can just move over and stuff. That's a different topic. Tangent. Moving on. The thing is, the elephant in the room. Hold on, what was I talking about? I was going somewhere with that. Oh, now I remember. So talking about how YouTube, honestly, YouTube kind of ran my life. I say kinda. This is what I mean by that. It wasn't about, there's never been a time where I've been like dreading to make a video, ever. Since I started making YouTube videos, there's never been a time where I'm like, oh man, I gotta go out and film. Oh geez, I gotta do this or whatever. I gotta post something. I gotta reply to comments. No, bullshit. The opposite of that. I've like tried to get out here and make videos, and then, you know, life gets in the way. But I was letting YouTube run my life rather than my life being a part of YouTube, right? Instead of revolving around YouTube. And what I mean by that is, for a long time, I was really into posting certain days and certain times. And what that did was it took away from friends. I won't say family. I didn't let it interfere with family, but it took away from friends. It took away from sleep. I don't get a lot of sleep as is, but it took away a lot of my sleep before work, because if I was working the next day, back when I was posting on Sundays, if I was working on Sunday and I was having issues with uploading videos, I would figure it out, upload when I went to bed, or export when I went to bed, and wake up, and first thing in the morning I'd run to the man cave and see if it worked. If it worked, I'd have to upload it, which could take about 30 to 45 minutes, you know, while I'm getting ready for work. And if it didn't, I had to, like, I'd bring it. One time I brought it to work and exported at work in the background, because I kept having issues with the sequence and timeline and stuff. Rendering it, doing all kinds of like troubleshooting to try to figure out why I was having issues. And it was in my head, you know, trying to make a video and get it released every week. I had a couple bonus videos here and there, but I got away from that, and a lot of that has to do with this channel. This channel right here was a reprieve from that, right? So I no longer was tied down to certain uploads. I just had to think if I was going the right way for a second. Yeah, just following traffic. Before I know it, I'm like, well, it's 1 o'clock. I guess I ought to call my dad. Hey, I'll be there in a little bit. But I essentially just, like, I post whenever a video is done, and it's so liberating. It's such a breath of fresh air. I always said that, you know, if YouTube became stressful and became like a job to me, that I would just stop doing it. And I feel that is not something I'm just saying. That's something that I believe in. I want this to be, always want it to be fun for me. Fun for me, fun for you. And if it's fun for me, it'll come through naturally through the microphone and the camera and everything in my lives, and I get a kick. I get a blast out of this, okay? Honestly, honest truth. And I said microphone, and it triggered something in my head. I had a dream that I did this whole thing and my mic wasn't plugged in. So my subconscious actually alerted to me, I guess that counts since I dreamt it. So I made sure that I didn't record anything, but I just made sure that it was plugged in. So we'll see. More on that later too. So what else? I think the elephant in the room is starting a new channel. And I hope that this proves to you that I at one point I was chasing numbers. The first time I posted a YouTube short, it was like, I don't know, I saw 1,000 views. I was like, what? Is this the cheat code? I remember I went to a bar down the street with my wife and one of her like best friends, and it was a video of me leaving Wawa and realizing I forgot my book bag. So I had to throw a bunch of snacks inside of my sweatshirt some pretzels and stuff, I think some drinks inside my sweatshirt, and it was I didn't have the bags on the bike or anything like that, and it was like, problem solved. And it was like, even like the PlayStation trophy unlock screen, I probably posted here. They have the best pretzels in the world. They're they're stupid. So here I am trying to get a bag of goodies. Oh, and I forgot my book bag. Oh no. Oh no. I can do it. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. All right, I made it. The Wawa band is gone. I got this big old belly right here. I told you I was pregnant. This big old belly. I just gained 50 pounds. I posted that, had like over 1,000 views, and this is back when I was getting like 20 or 30 views a video and everything, and I was like, that was it. That's the cheat code. That's the secret right there, right? So I got some subscribers and stuff, and I was kind of like, I was floored. I was like, this is how you do it. So that was like the demise of the channel, I think. And for FUR, now let's try FOR. For a couple years, I was battling back and forth with YouTube shorts and deleting them and posting them and deleting them, posting, and I think I just destroyed the channel. I've talked to most of y'all know that. I think I did. I think overall I had acquired like 1,500 subscribers in my lifetime, which is 15 years of YouTube overall, as far as how old the channel is. And I posted all kinds of stuff. Out of that 1,500 subscribers, nearly 800 were from shorts, and they were from my dog, they were from Call of Duty, they were from motorcycle riding. They were, there's a smorgasbord, I think they say. There's a plethora of different types of video. Well, I deleted those. I started doing them again. I deleted them, started doing them again, deleting several 100,000 views. I mean, it's kind of wild, like actually, like how many views got deleted over time, comments, everything like that. So I was just throwing the algorithm, ooh, the boogeyman, for a loop. And I mentioned in the video that I had a somewhat of a farewell, but quickly said, hey, I'm not leaving, I'm ending this channel. And I'll have another video on that as far as why that channel still exists to this day, and it won't always exist, but right now why it exists. So proof that I gave up on numbers. I had whatever it was, 1,300 plus subscribers and X amount of 1,000 watch hours. I wasn't monetized or anything like that, but this is one of those things. I was like, you know what? I'm not playing the what if game. I'm not playing, what if I started over. I'm doing it. And let's dive into this, the community. Okay, this right here is probably the single thing I'm most proud of, is the likes of you, and when I reflect of 2025, and where I am in the channel has nearly everything to do with those that follow. I said a while ago that if one person watched my video, or one person liked, or whatever it is, left a comment, I was going to always do this. And you have to do YouTube for yourself. I get that. You have to post for yourself, because, and I'm an advocate of that, because I've mentioned before, you're documenting your life for yourself, your family, friends. YouTube is, it's owned by Google, owned by Alphabet. It's here forever. So that was always a thing that, good luck. So that was always a thing that I was inspired by to make these videos. But the community to me is invaluable. The fact that y'all took the time, not only and continue to take the time to not only watch my videos, but you followed me from one channel to the other, the breadcrumbs I left in that video, and you decided to, hey, let's keep going, right? Because the journey's not stopping. I don't plan on ever stopping YouTube necessarily. Like I said, there's caveats if it became stressful or anything like that. Where are you going? Go ahead, you get one. The caveat was, if it became stressful to the point where it was a second job, I don't have time for a second job. There's so many things that I'm involved with that I didn't want it to be a chore. But having you guys leave comments, and then I go to your videos, and a lot of y'all make videos, and continue the conversation, the banter back and forth, the opinions that you have, the opinions I have, the experiences you have, the experiences I have, as far as based on opinions on a certain topic and everything. And it's fun to hear. It's fun to hear everybody else's take on life. We're all from different backgrounds, different parts of the world. And once again, the word invaluable. I think it's invaluable to be a part of all that. So I always say like community, because I'm trying to think of, because I don't like, subscribers is one thing. There's certain keywords, yes, I don't like. I don't like content creator, YouTuber, all the other stuff. Sirens. It's in front of me. Maybe miss a light. So I enjoy that back and forth and the creativity that you all have on your videos. And whenever you can make the time or take the time to make videos and upload videos of different bikes you have, I think that's it's very fun and interesting to me to see how a different mindset works for moto vloggers or YouTubers, content creators. Let's reflect back on some videos I never thought I would make. Well, one was, and I was being naive to it, but one was the discussion about when my motorcycle broke down, the tire blew. So that's my own fault. Procrastination is one of my biggest flaws, and along with that comes maintenance, getting better at providing the proper care and maintenance to my motorcycle. Never thought I would make a video on that, but I did. I had fun with that. I plan on doing more of those in the future because it was just kind of fun. Maybe a live. I got to change out the spark plugs in 2026, so maybe that's a thing. But enjoying the aspect of actually working on my motorcycle. I mean, even if it's as simple as, oh, it's starting to get cold. Even if it's as simple as, changing the oil or changing the air filter out, doing it yourself, putting your hands on your bike and tearing it apart to a point and putting it back together and having that satisfaction of doing something yourself was something that I came to enjoy in 2025 instead of putting it off, which I got very lucky. So be careful, stay up to date on your tires. I'll say that. Going on the tech side of the channel, what happened in 2025? Well, I added another camera. Not this camera, but I added the 360. And it's funny to go back to those old videos that I had. Hello, everything's fine. To go back to those old videos that I had on the other channel, I looked back and I was like, oh wow, that was this year? I thought it was maybe the year prior. Oh, hey. A little dirt in the road, a lot of dirt in the road. But to go back and look at all those videos, I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I was looking at it and I was like, I didn't remember that was this year. I thought that was like, last year, the year before, whatever. There's certain topics that I was discussing. So one of them was like getting the drone that you saw. More on that another day. But getting the drone shot that you saw, it's already been on this channel once when I had the podcast with Lucky, and more on that in a bit. Going to the 360, the Insta 360, the X4. I liked it. I never loved it. I enjoyed the concept of the 360, the ability, the flexibility, but it's like one of those things when you're jack of all trades and master at none. That was perfect. So I guess like a bike, when you're dual sport, you're good at on the road and off the road, but you're not great at one or the other, right? That's how I've heard. This is fantastic on the road. This is terrible off-road. Although you could argue back there, I destroyed that little mound. Oop, I smell a little bit of that medicinal use drug. Moving on. I fought through that 360 for a while. I didn't like the way that the picture came out. I enjoyed the flexibility, but I rarely used the actual ability of the 360 while it was on my handlebars. I used it a lot when it was on a tripod. or I had the ability to use it, but I never really enjoyed the editing process with it, as far as how it looked, the presentation of it. So I ventured out and I said, you know what, let's get the new GoPro. So it's on my helmet now, the 13, and I was hoping to find something that was better in low light. I didn't do enough research, and it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same sensor size, if not the same. I can't remember. I think it might be a little bit better from the Hero 10, which was now. So I pretty much, this camera right here was on my helmet. This was at Best Buy. Now I flipped them. So I currently have the 360 in a box, in a bag, in my bag, my saddle bag right now, because it's in a kit that I have, and I'm still debating about how to use it. Do I mount it somewhere else? Do I mount it behind me? Do I use it for that 360 view? So I'm still debating on how to use that. I'm constantly researching. That's what I did in the 2025 and beyond, and prior to, and I will do beyond, is I'm constantly looking. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve the channel, whether it's audio, visual, topics, discussion, you know, the drone aspect of everything, having a different view, vantage point, the voiceovers. So I'm constantly looking to do stuff, and it's part of my love for videography, filmography, photography. That's a whole different topic, but, well, I guess kind of, sort of, editing process, like it all ties together. Storytelling here and there, enjoying the live aspect. So that's one thing that I really enjoyed when I look back on the start of. I remember a shot I had the Nikon. My camera was filming this one shot where I had I drove by. I had my 360 up, my Nikon shooting. A GoPro was on my helmet, and I had the drone. I think that's when I was introducing the drone or the 360, or maybe both, to the channel. And that was such a huge part of what I want to do on YouTube. What I want to do, it takes so much time, and I'm finding ways to alleviate the time that it takes, which is awesome. And that's kind of what I'm looking at 2026, is the practicality of things, upgrading the video, the quality, and maybe the audio, but also making everything more seamless. And you know, set up my drone, for example, I have to, you know, first world problems, right? To set up my drone, I have to go to the app, go on my phone, and plug my phone into the controller, because it's part of the controller. It's the visual aid of it, connects to the drone, all this other stuff, link it up, fly it. Oh man. And make sure that if I do leave it behind, I've left the controller is one thing, I've left my phone there. I think I make a left here. Let's see, 58. Yeah, yep. So I have to, you know, it's like I had to leave my phone. I had to leave the controller and hope that it's there when I get back. Yeah. So you can see that that's a little more stressful. It takes a lot more time to do, to take the drone out, put the battery, and do all this other stuff, and it does take quite a bit of time. So it's something I certainly don't want to use. I wouldn't use every video, because I only want to use it when I see fit, or when I deem that it's fit for a shot. More to come in 2026. More to come in 2026. I'm very excited about that. And I'll go over a couple more things. As of course, this is long-winded as I am. It's a big year. There's a lot that I left off the table. I think I'm just going straight. Is this moving? We fought with this before. It's been a while. Sure has. But we fought with this before. This mirror. Might as well bring that over. Oh, that wasn't last year. I think I haven't fought with that in 2 years. Oh, here we are. And we're also in the coldest part of the trip. 60 miles an hour. Here we go. Gloves are holding up pretty good. First time well, I think I wore them one other time while I'm making a video. The coldest part of me is my right fingers, my right hand, my right fingers, and my knees. Knees in the breeze, Moto Alley. Well, it's a little chilly. I think I'm gonna right up here. But I'm already here. I might as well just go straight. I think we're gonna rock the rest of the video out in 60 plus miles per hour. A couple more things on the channel that started 2025, and I've already done one of them on this channel, was the podcast. So I interviewed Restless Mule, in this order: Restless Mule from Texas, from Canada, the Great White North. I interviewed Moto Alley, and most recently in October I interviewed, which is on this channel, Lucky Aces Riding. I do plan on porting those over. The other two, I call them beyond the shadow, right? So it's play on words. Not everybody has a Honda Shadow that I interview. Only, well, two now. I'd say only one. 2 out of the 3 happen to have Honda Shadows, but it wasn't about that ride in particular. It was about the ride in general. So having a motorcycle, and I do actually plan on getting away from down the road. It's completely feasible to have a Beyond the Ride for those that don't ride, that are, you know, my friends that I enjoy just to listen to, and maybe try to find a way to tie it into the channel. But because I love the aspect of you know, those that are on YouTube, the creativity that people have, the mindset, just the general, you know, good people, the concept of having good people and having a story that they have that I deem worth telling for sure. That being said, when I port them over, even though they're a little bit dated now because they're a year old, essentially a year, 3/4 of a year old, I still think, and I talked to both of them, or at least in the chat, I know I talked to Moto Alley for sure, but I find it that yes, their ride may have changed. Think about, like, talking about Restless Mule, but the concept of who they are and when they started riding and how they got into riding and what is it, you know, what do you get out of riding, or what do you get out of making videos, YouTube videos to enjoy, you know, stuff like that, whatever. Fill in the blank, you'll see. The concept of that hasn't changed, so I think that's important to share. And whatever they used to ride, or business they used to have, for example, I think it's part of their history, or it is part of their history. So just another thing that I think is worth sharing. So when I port those over, I'll delete from the other channel, and I'll port them over, and I'll have like a little something disclosing that this was filmed, or this originally released at such and such, or whatever. You know, I'll figure it out. The podcast was something new. I really enjoyed that. Doing one in person was a whole different experience, and one that you could, I think we've all been able to play off each other, even if it's video form and shot through, what do we use, Streamlabs or something like that, StreamYard? I can't remember what it's called, StreamYard? It's been a while. And lastly, what I'll say was something new to the channel, or really getting into it was new, was going live. Going live for me was, let's just put it this way, I don't have an adrenaline rush. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I said it right that time. I've struggled in the past, as it would be for anybody. Everybody has their own personality. I am not an adrenaline, I can't even say oh my god, adrenaline junkie. Yeah, there we go. Holy cow, it's early. We had 3 calls after midnight. All right, I'm a little tired. Oh my god, I'm gonna get these words right. Words are tough. Oh jeez. Anyway, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, despite being a firefighter, riding a motorcycle. You would think, like, oh, you know, maybe he likes that, the thrills of that. No, it's completely different. My heart rate doesn't go up, you know, certain calls and all that. Like, it doesn't make me any better or anything like that. If you want to say I'm a badass, well, you know, that's up to you. But you know, I'm just messing. I could not take myself serious. I know, I'm a mess. But when I go live, everything can be like, all right, I got it, I practice something, I do it, I'm ready to go, and then when I hit record, something bad happens. Something happens, my audio doesn't work, I'm out of focus, my lip syncing is off. I think I got the Milli Vanilli comment one time, which is pretty good. So there's never been one that's gone smooth. I think I filmed, because Beyond the Shadow is, I didn't touch into that too much, but it was like, it's not just the ride, it's the shadow of the person. So it's a play on words, it's a bunch of things. You know, the history, the shadow, the history of that person, for example. So, all right, that closes that book. But I call it, you know, beyond the ride. So Beyond the Ride, RYDE, such great branding. But Beyond the Ride was an episode that I would shoot. I'd come up with a few topics, getting a little colder, come up with a few topics and essentially just dive into that. And people were showing up, and like I said, part of the community that really, it was just kind of awestruck. You know, those that would take their time and write comments, enjoy, you know, going back and forth, and it was just a lot of fun. And honestly, that's one of the most fun things about this is I mentioned that, you know, just doing and enjoying and having a community and having people that would resonate with, you know, things I say, offer their own opinion, thought process. And just have fun, just have a good time. You know, I was doing it every 3 weeks on my 3-day break on Wednesday, which is actually today, ironic. I have yet to do anything with lives or anything on this channel, but I do plan on that. So that's 2026 conversation right there. Getting back into it, a lot to talk about. I always have something to talk about. I have too much to talk about. Moving on. I thank you all for being a part of my year, my 2025, sharing your thoughts, your insight, your videos. I really enjoyed the fact that we can bounce back and forth on each other's videos. And they don't have to be related. And frankly, most of them aren't related, which is a good thing. It adds variety. But it's so fun to see what y'all come up with. And to see, you know, if y'all make a reflection of 2025 or some goals. And I'm not really big into New Year's resolutions, but I might try it this year. I might actually try it. Stay tuned for that.
We all know there will be a last time for everything and everyone. We might be living in our last days. There might be 27 years to come. Running across the border, following the water, make the most of every notion. Soaring like a kite,